All right, we're back. Almost had you, didn't I? I actually did that one intentionally just because I've messed up my microphone already twice tonight. With that, just letting the teams know that I'm ready. With that, we are jumping into a very rapidly picked up match here between Nexus Cats and Full Meta Jacket. Match was available. It's an important D East match, so I definitely wanted to see it get casted. And since my first match wrapped up pretty quick, the rule is you can schedule games. You can only schedule in advance, an hour and 45 minutes apart. You can, however, pick up a game if your previous match ends. That's what happened here. Nexus Cats, the favorite in this series. Taking a look at those standings we talked about. Nexus Cats currently sitting at 16 points in a tie for second with Bunker Funtime. A very strong showing from them in their first season. Full Meta Jacket, a team that's been around a while, climbed up the ranks at times, came back down the D this season. They've been putting together an okay season. Both of these teams are safely in the playoffs. Both of these teams right now very much in a position to make the playoffs. We're going to get set up here into the draft now. So this could be potentially a preview of a playoff match later. Forgive the stutter there. But taking a look at the teams, haven't actually casted either of these teams. I've casted Full Meta Jacket before. It's been a long time. I don't think I've necessarily ever casted Nexus Cats. Maybe once back in like Season 5. But certainly some recognizable names on there in the community. Mark Zombie, great caster. Turd Herder, Arthanal, both from Nexus Edge. Arthanal really doing a lot to get that show off the ground. Turd Herder still involved in a big way. So some good players. Jiggerob, I've seen that name before. I've seen Runtime Logic before, though I think it might just be from having casted these teams before. Modus... Oh, they don't have Modus Trollins tonight. Modus Trollins is my favorite player name. I was looking forward to saying Modus Trollins. Guys, we didn't get Modus Trollins. What do I do? Modus Trollins is like the best player name. Should probably talk about the bans here. What with casting and all. We do have the Tassadar Joanna banned out by Nexus Cats. Garrosh Zeratul banned out on the other side. Zeratul definitely a pick we've seen Nexus Cats pick up this season. Kael'thas's going to be grabbed initially. Now, normally when you think of Alterac Past, mobility can be important, sustain and poke can be very important. Kael'thas doesn't bring that to bear in the best ways, but still a strong hero. One of those heroes that, if you're not very coordinated, you can accidentally spread Living Bomb. And even if you spread it once and disarm it after that, just that extra damage, just that extra time, just that extra confusion can really disarm a fight. Orphea and Deckard picked up. I'm very disappointed that the Doctor is not the healer. Gonna grab Orphea. Deckard, Kane, very strong healer. Has a lot of good stall poke on this map, as does the Orphea over the wall. Gonna turn around with the Blaze Anduin. Now, Blaze could play either a tank role or an offlane role. He's become more and more kind of tanky as time has gone on. You've seen a shift from Bunker to Combustion. Not to say Bunker's unpickable, it's very pickable, but it's lost certainly a lot of value, and Combustion has picked up a lot of energy since then. Dahaka banned out, so they're expecting that to be a tank Blaze, and they are denying that global solo lane. Dahaka can be good on the map. There's some really good bush positions. Diablo denied out, trying to deny that hard engage blow up, and Deckard would be a good follow-up on it, as well as Ruby certainly helping Diablo stay in the backline. So both teams really drafting like they know each other, and you love to see that. You love to see teams challenge each other with that individual knowledge. This late in the season, scouting, there's more information which can sometimes be information overload. You may want to ban something that was strong early in the season, but now they haven't played it lately. Maybe the reason they haven't played it lately is because it's been banned, or maybe they are switching strategies. It's a lot to take into account. But these two teams, I think, very comfortable with their scouting based on the bans that we've seen. Raynor going to get grabbed here. We did see the Phoenix variant, so it's likely a taunt variant, I would imagine, although it could be Smash. And Sonya. So this is indeed Tank Blaze. Now, taunt variant can absolutely play in the solo lane for the note. Not an incredibly strong solo laner, not a bad solo laner at all. Able to stack, if they can stack Lion's Maw quickly, able to really do a lot of damage with that. It's going to be Leoric last pick, so that does certainly indicate taunt variant, which I expected regardless, even if they went a tank, if I'm completely honest. But the Leo, bringing in that Entomb, bringing in that Side Soak, that hyper mobility that you see with the Spooky Ghost, especially potentially post 13 if you go the Ominous Wraith talent. I like both teams' drafts quite a lot. Both teams kind of picked what they wanted to, some heroes that they're known for. It's a very, very kill-oriented comp on the side of Nexus Cats. They do have the Leo for macro, but otherwise, I mean, when you look at this comp, you think they want to really get in and get a quick kill. They want to get into this backline. And the Deckard Ruby can certainly enable that. So both teams really bringing some fun drafts to the table here, as just take a quick second and get set up. A couple things here, just trying to get some last minute stuff lined up here. As things looking fairly good. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my banner set up, and probably should just give up the ghost here and just go live. But, you know, we aim to please. Alright, we're good to go. Except we're not good to go, because right as I say we're good to go, we do have a banned KT skin. Nexus Cat saying they're okay with it, so we may still go regardless. Let's see. Hopefully, all right. We are going to just go ahead and restart with the game. So, to that end, introducing both teams on the left side. It is the Nexus Cat. Arthanel going to be on Phoenix. We have Turd Herder up in the top on the Leoric. Mark Zombie on Varian. The Doctor on Orphea. Mick Giblets on that Deckard Cain. And on the right side, representing full meta jacket, it's going to be Suza on Kael'thas, Juggerab on Blaze, Barber up here on Sonya, Runtime Logic on the Raynor, and Sergeant Scoops on the Anduin. Level 1 talents. Let's go ahead and check on those. Big stun there onto Blaze. Seeing a Q laser build out of Arthanel. Lion's Maw out of Varian, as expected. That Spell Power talent, which has been gaining popularity. As Ruby has gone up, so has Sapphire gone down. And as a result of that, because it's an opportunity cost in terms of picking Sapphire or Ruby, most people opting to go with one of those root talents. The Spell Power definitely seems to be the more popular one right now. Although if you have a lot of CC, certainly the stacking root can gain value. Right now, Raynor, Orphea, and the bot just both playing safe around each other. Both teams starting their camps, full meta jacket on the right. Arthanel and Deckard on the left. Some sprays being dropped here. Not really the most synergistic of mount skins, but I'll allow it on the side of Juggerab. Winning the race slightly is Nexus Cats, but sometimes with this camp race, you want to lose by just a little bit. Now, not so much, and actually, they're going to lose a bit by too much here, because there will be so many minions up. But you want to have the camps neutralized closer to your side of the map, but not so much so that you actually take structure damage. And both teams just throwing a lot of damage back and forth at each other, but the assassins from both teams really focused on the camps, and technically being won by full meta jacket, although it's not really won unless they get some wall damage here. And they might get a little bit, but it's not gonna be anything worth writing home about. It's gonna be bottom objectives to start. Souza gonna hearth for mana. Orphea currently pushing up in the bot, but gonna get counter cleaned by full meta jacket. Sonya up in the top, getting one last little bit of soak before heading down. Leo heading down, needing to leave those 3 minions up to get down in time.
All right, lads and lassies, keep our prison camp from being captured.
As we head in. Objective started. Looks like Nexus Cats wants to push on aggressively here. Camp has, because it was picked up a little bit later, has come up just now for FMJ. Blaze is very aggressive, but the rest of the team I don't think got the memo. Great save there by Sergeant Scoops, and actually Kael'thas may enable this to get turned around. Arthur taking a lot of damage from the Kael'thas. Juggerab able to tap, Sonya coming in on the flank, and we are going to get a first 5v5 fight of the game. Root in the back, hits onto KT and the Blaze. Rubies are available. Turnherder extremely low, and Turnherder going to go down. First kill of the match heading over to the side of full meta jacket, and now they want to push up. 6.9 seconds left on their timer, so 23.1 picked up on the side of Nexus Cats, but you need 30, and they didn't quite get there. Leo very low, about 150 health. Gonna have to walk away, get healthy before the re-engage. And that may be enough. Oh, the big taunt onto Sonya, but she's gonna spin to win, get a little bit of healing, and get on out of there. Big Root coming in, hits onto 2, Kael'thas and Blaze. Mark Zombie extremely low, but so is Barber. Barber with the self-sustain at least gets the trade kill for the Orphea. Orphea not able to get to all those rubies to stay alive. 2-for-1 trade, but it does win the objective. Sometimes, though, winning the objective with those kills not gonna be enough. If you're down people, they don't have anyone soaking top right now. Sonya on the way, but could lose some soak in the meantime. And a big part of this first objective is making sure you don't give up too much soak. You don't want to lose that race to 10. It's a little bit early to all in and try to go for something. Looks like they're gonna focus mid, but they have the 1-3-1 going. That said, Raynor very caught out, but just not able to scale that kill. Some good jukes there by Raynor to avoid the bulk of that damage, but now Raynor not going to be able to pick up much soak here. That said, a tower has been lost in the in the bottom, excuse me. Mid wall is forfeit. Now it looks like the rotation coming top. Sonya gonna finish this up. Turnherder doing all the damage into the Sonya, but Sonya with the self-sustain gonna be able to stay alive. Went block actually instead of Warpaint. So not as much self-sustain as you may see with the siege damage, but still has Whirlwind available. Mark Zombie looks for the taunt, buys time for the team to engage. Here comes Deckard. Great cleanse there by Sergeant Scoops, and that just saved Sonya 100%. That cleanse does not come in, and that is Barber going down. So good job there by full meta jacket. Nexus Cats, I love the idea though. They are also winning the race to 10 despite losing that objective and despite losing some towers. Good side soaking here by the Doctor. Both teams rotate into their camps. Sonya Raynor, of course, gonna clean that up much more quickly than the Phoenix and the Deckard will. But Phoenix no slouch. They'll have this camp in the lane. Lickety split. That's right, I said lickety split. It's the 1940s, boys and girls. Actually, it's more the 1920s. Think about it. We got pandemic. We got economic collapse. Racism. It's not a great time. Let's just be honest. Luckily, we can just focus on this match right now and just do the Charleston on over to Alterac Pass and watch the game. Raynor, Leo, both trying to finish up this top lane. It is the top shrine, and actually it's going to come down to who rotates first. think between Orphea and Sonya. Sonya going to be able to clean this lane up first and be able to start to rotate up. Let's look at the level 10s. We have Purification, Salvo, Entomb, Shield Wall, Sleepy Time, and Devouring Feast. Or Eternal Feast. Excuse me. Eternal Feast on the side of Orphea. On the side of Full Metal Jacket, you got the Combustion we talked about earlier, Wrath of the Berserker, which can be enabled very well by that Combustion, Light Bomb, Phoenix, and Hyperion, and Sonya having a hard time getting out of there, but does do so. Big Combustion onto the backline. It's going to secure the first kill, and the Light Bomb going to get onto Varian, and that Light Bomb actually prevented Phoenix from backing up, as he had nowhere to go. Now Mark Zombie having to run for the life, using the shield wall to buy some time to escape. But this will be Full Meta Jacket looking now at cleaning up this top objective. Making fun of the 1920s is too soon. Good to know. I know what you're referencing, and I apologize if anyone was offended by that. I was actually trying to make more a political statement of sorts there without making one. There is the taunt on to Kael'thas. Big to Eternal Feast. That will secure the kill in the place with the assistance of Sleepy Time. Now the Entomb onto Anduin. Anduin at least going to be allowed to escape, but they do get the kill onto Sonya. And Nexus Cats on the front foot on the objective for the first time in a while, and that is a big kill onto Kael'thas. Now sets them up with a 3-0 kill, and what are they going to do with this? They can make something happen on the map for the time being. They only need a couple to defend this. They can get some side soak, maybe thinking about invading that camp, or at least seeing if anyone was on it. No one was. Orphea currently getting some side soak, trying to win that race to 13. Siege camp being grabbed here. These are fire bats, by the way. They may look like they're not fire bats, but they are coded identically to fire bats. The only difference is there's 3 of them, but otherwise they are fire bats. If you look into the game's resource file, they're called fire bats. So every time I call them fire bats, someone tells me, oh, those aren't fire bats. They are. Just fucking deal with it. To that end, 1-3-1 once again, although this time the shoe is on Nexus Cat's foot. Full Meta Jacket does not yet have level 13. Trying to pick it up here, and it looks like there might be a flank coming onto Raynor. Raynor getting the memo from the team. Good communication there from FMJ. Raynor rooted behind the wall. Hyperion going to be used to try to pressure back. Phoenix now rotating top as well. This is a 2v4. Root going to catch on to Raynor. Arthanel ready with the flank, but going to get spotted out by Anduin, has to walk away. Anduin going with that new W talent, which is very strong. Every ally you heal with W gives a 1-second cooldown reduction on W. Very powerful talent. You manage to heal 5 people on your team, that's a huge reduction. Did not take Moral Compass with it, going with the auto attack talent, but still a good combination, always Inner Fire, with Bold Strategy at 20. You could expect to see Variant's Legacy or the Double Cleanse, both viable. Arthanel McGiblet's going to clean up their siege camp. And overall, that second objective not really getting much value. You can see Fort Wall, most of Fort Wall, but no forts. Speed of Pious, very strong. I mean, honestly, the CDR is better than the movement speed. The movement speed's great for an escape, but the CDR is like the reason you picked that talent now. There's a taunt, looking for the kill. Great cleanse. And given the way this is being played, I kind of expect at 20 to see that second cleanse. That set a full level lead now from Nexus Cats as the objective timer starts. FMJ gonna have to scramble to find 16s here. We do see Scroll of the Stone Curse coming in, so Deckard really upping that damage potential. The Ancient Blessings as well could set up just a massive wombo combo engage.
Time for some action. Let's free our
Yeah, the CDR on like if the CDR were half a second, maybe the talent would not easily be the best talent. But even if you're going like auto attack build, you don't take push forward. The CDR and W is just too important. Turd Herder looking for the engage onto Juggerrob. Could see the Entomb. Nope, backing up, playing safe. McGivlitz does get the channel in. Sonya was away side soaking. 16 now picked up. But only 10 seconds has ticked off in favor of Nexus Cats. And now we see Sonya down here on the bottom. Blaze comes in. Big combustion. There's the Eternal Feast. Sepper has to remember, no, Susan not able to get out of it with the taunt. Shield comes in, but it's not going to be enough. Kael'thas goes down, Blaze goes down, and that Eternal Feast is still going, living up to its reputation. 4 kills, and Nexus Cats just womboing the combo all over the place. I'm trying to make up catchphrases. That was a bad one. Nobody ever say that again. We'll pretend it was never uttered so I can save face. And now working on this bottom boss with the 4-kill advantage. And Deckard Cain using that Ancient Blessings to help out. And there we go. So boss going to push in the bot with the objective, which just now comes online. So there's going to be a big commit to this bot lane, presumably on the side of Nexus Cats, wanting to get the first keep of the map. Leo's still going to go away, do the double soak, knows the team still needs level 20. It's a huge spike for Deckard, for Varian, for Leo. It's a huge spike for most people in the game. Cough, cough, poor Stu, cough, cough, cough. But this actually just going to go ahead and let this push. They want to play the map. They want to open up space for their taunt ganks. So it looks like they're going to play to clear out some of these objectives. The camp was picked up by Raynor, so that needs to get cleaned up. But now pushing on to the top, Sonya just going to have to walk away from this. Cannot meaningfully defend in any way. Well, like most things in 2020 X Factor, it is terrible. And so as a result, maybe it is the catchphrase that we need for this year. Sonya comes down. They do, for the time being, save mid-fort. But top keeps still pushing, and that is a fairly healthy cavalry member. We do see the Phoenix come out, zoning out the members of Nexus Cats, and they're going to go ahead and back up. They're saying, you know what, look, we're winning the race to 20. We just want to get 20 before we fight. And there we go. Mystic Spear is an old school talent, and Mystic Spear is one of those talents that if you're used to it, it's very hard to pick any other talent, including move speed. Mystic Spear is useful for that. It's one of those, it gives you an escape over the wall, which is a great way to get out of Leoric Entomb, for example. So I don't think it's that bad. So it's Mystical Spear, my bad. Both teams starting on their camps. Boss was baited, but nobody going to work on it. This mid-fort is still standing. Sonya needing to clear up this bot lane, though. Keep wall is down. And that's going to be some pressure they're going to have to deal with and think about heading into this next objective, which will be in the top lane. Both teams with their mids in, or mid camps into lane. Now looking like Full Meta Jacket wants to engage on the top, but not able to get the pick, and now a level and a half away from 20, and you can just see how fast that passive XP stacks up. As right now, passive XP contributing about 1,000 or about 1,200 to the side of Nexus Cats. And if they get this fort, it'll just stack up even more. Full Meta Jacket not able to claim a fort yet, and they have a long road to 20. Still full level away. 45 seconds to decide, do they go for the contest down 20s, or do they just try to soak 20 and defend the objective? It's kind of their choice. Unless they get a pick off here onto the Varian, Varian does get stunned. Runtime Logic rotates very aggressive, but there's the Eternal Feast. Do they have the cleanse for Druggerob? The cleanse comes in, but just not in time. Druggerob goes down, and Sonya not there on the engage. They weren't able to secure the pickoff, and that turns around into a death, so now you have to walk away and soak on the side of Full Meta Jacket. Sonya going to try to make something happen in this bot. Starts to siege up onto this fort. Has Archer minions here to help out. But Full Meta Jacket is not going to be able to take their camp here, and Raynor having started, just handing it over to the side of Nexus Cats, they say, we want this. They step up and they take it. Getting much closer to level 20, but still not there. And Anduin really wants that. Holy Nova, interesting choice, rather than the kind of more popular Inner Focus. There's the taunt on the Varian. Do they get the engage? Eternal Feast used. But going to be able to walk away from that. Taking a look at the 20s, we do see secondary fire. So going with that extra little purification salvo missile. On the plasma cutter, we do have the Buried Alive. Upgraded banner from Varian. Stay a while and listen upgrade from Deckard. Orphea going with that Eldritch Conduit. On the other side, Combustion upgrade, Ignore Pain, Variant Legacy, Flamethrower, and the auto attack talent from Raynor. Thank you, NyQuil Fiend, for the raid, as we're in game 1 of this very important DE series. But it looks like Nexus Cats is starting to think about ending this. They are about to take the second plate of armor off this core. Buried Alive doesn't catch anyone, though. But now with this Mercenary, with this boss down to 17, they get the kill onto Anduin quick. But oh, this might backfire. The massive combustion with the Sonya in the backline secures 3, and you take that trade. Can they get another? They're going for the triple kill. Mark Zombie goes down, but they have to back up, and they're not even going to be able to save this bot keep, unfortunately. So despite the kills, they are now down 3 keeps, and they need to start thinking about how they can open up a win condition. Full Meta Jacket getting big kills, but is it going to be enough? This bottom boss will be available. They will have time to take it, but they're going to have to make something happen. Their core, has no plates of armor, and you just take a look. Without any armor, I mean, those minions alone doing a lot of damage to it. But now starting to regen health. Oh, the Buried Alive! Oh, they turned the 2v3 off the Buried Alive! They secure 2 kills on Raynor and Kel'Thas. Turnherder making perhaps the play of the match. Full Meta Jacket, they wedge the door open. They get it open just a little bit. And Nexus Cat slams it in their face. Now Barber trying to make the 1v2 happen, but I don't think this is going to work. Might need Anduin to peel out here. Root comes out, doesn't catch anyone. Light Bomb! What can they turn this into? Not much, especially with Orphea on the way down. They're going to have to back up. This next objective, 100%. If Full Meta Jacket loses it, the game is over. And even if they don't, the game may still end. Boss now being started by Nexus Cats. Turnherder absolutely may have just made the play of the game. I mean, yes, Nexus Cats have played a tremendous game. They've been up pretty much the entire time. But the one opportunity that Full Meta Jacket had to get back into this just got slammed in their face. And Nexus Cats gets the boss. Now this is a decoy. They're going to go for the objective. And possibly the team fight. And Full Meta Jacket looks like they're going to go for the objective, but they don't have time on their side. Big engage, looking for the Orphea. Can they get it? Huge combustion, but Juggerov and Sonya so low. And there's the sleep and the silence, the upgraded sleep. Sonya, though, gets the light bomb, gives her enough time to get Whirlwind, but she's not able to self-sustain through it. And no kills have been picked up by Full Meta Jacket. The chase is on. Runtime Logic's going to go down. Sergeant Scoops is going to go down. And even if Sousa stays alive, it's not going to make a difference. Nexus Cats have just put this series up 1-0. Saw a lot of good things from Full Meta Jacket, but Nexus Cats, just with that killer instinct, the team that's been around a long time, it's a team that has seen ups and downs, coming off some not great seasons in the past. They are making a statement to D East. this season, and this game was just another clause on that statement. GG's, well done, Nexus Cats. Gonna go up 1-0 in this series. And Nexus Cats just comboed so well. Absolutely comboed so well. You saw the taunt, you saw the follow-up. Eternal Feast used to give that extra burst of damage. The Eternal Feast value in this game cannot be understated. The sleep with the Eternal Feast, sometimes it was even triggered, and if this is practiced, it's amazing. Sometimes it was triggered with sleep such that sleep would still not be broken by the first hit of Eternal Feast. Because with sleep, it guarantees a stun for, I believe it's half a second, although it may just be a quarter second where they can't be woken up. But Nexus Cats, big win from them here in game number 1. We're going to get set for game number 2. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to Nexus Gaming Series. Map 1, very much controlled, ultimately, by Nexus Cats. We saw FMJ make some things happen, get some kills, have some opportunities, but ultimately 5 structures to 0 at the end of the game, 17 kills to 8. And all told, that's a fairly strong statement win by Nexus Cats. FMJ going to have to come back strong in this series if they're going to take us to a game 3. Take a look. Map 2 going to be Dragonshire. Full Meta Jacket choosing to stick with first pick as we head to Dragonshire. Very macro-oriented map. Very coordination and communication-based map. A lot of teams that struggle on this map tend to not do a good job making rotations effectively. So making mid-bot rotations effectively, helping the top laner when needed. So that's the difficulty that's there. But we're going to get set up here into the draft very, very shortly. And here we go. Both teams scouted out some specific picks in the last map. We'll see if those bans stick. Nexus Cats Full Meta Jacket, Game 2. First pick to Full Meta Jacket. They banned out Zeratul in the last game. They're going to stick with that. They do not want to give Zeratul up. And you can see why. Arthanaut 5-1 on the hero. 0 teamfight escapes. Probably not the best stat I could pick. Let's go with hero damage. Hey! That looks better. That's actually a really good damage number for Zeratul. 5-1 on the hero. Tassadar getting denied. Runtime Logic has played the hero quite a bit. They don't have the best results with it, but all the same, it is a comfort. They don't want to give it up. Orphea going to get banned out after that last game. Joanna has been banned. That does leave up Zeratul, or excuse me, that does leave up Zul. So that is an option for Full Meta Jacket to take if they play it. As for updating, so I don't update the standings during the game because it requires a full load of everything from the resources, and that means I have to set things back up again. So it's something that I never do during a match. Zul going to be grabbed by Barber. So that does leave up some pretty powerful heroes. Deckard Cain, which we saw in the last game. ETC is available. Varian, I thought, was played very well in the last game, is available as well. Leo, also available, although on this map, solo lane's very important. Don't know if you're going to pick it. You are going to pick the Rexar, though, early. And the Malfurion. I love the Malfurion pick. I am surprised we haven't seen more of Malfurion this season. At least I haven't. Maybe everyone else is picking it. Let's go ahead, take a look at the stats. Malfurion honestly just feels very strong right now, and I say this as someone who has not liked Malfurion for a very long time. I've not been a big Malf fan. Currently, hang on, let's just pull that back up here. Currently sitting at a 23% popularity, so not too bad. 5 KDA, it's pretty middle of the road for healers. But there's the Garrosh of Vala. So with the Vala, you want to go a sustained healer, and Stukov came to mind. That's going to get banned out. Stukov can pair well with the Garrosh, although it does require a lot of synergy. On the other side, do you ban out the ETC? You have Zul Garrosh. I really think you need to take ETC off the map. And they concur. So this brings up what tank do you pick. Mal'Ganis is an option, although very much struggles against the Garrosh. Could go Blaze, kind of the same problem. They're going to go Arthas to deny the Zul. I will say that Arthas also struggles a lot into the Garrosh. Because of the lack of mobility, the fact that Garrosh has an unstoppable. Can flip Arthas, and Arthas just has nowhere to go. And with the Malfurion, not going to be able to throw too many heals onto the backline unless the Q's already there, although generally you keep your tank pre-healed. And there's Anduin, good follow-up onto the Garrosh and Thrall. So there's a couple routes to follow up, so I like both of those picks. And that Thrall could, in theory, be the solo laner, leaving Zul to double rotate mid-bot. That is an option. That is very much on the table. Last pick to come in. Gotta think it's more damage. And it's Genji. We have not seen a lot of Genji lately. He's kind of one of those heroes that, because people hate him so much, he's been nerfed into the ground, and then further nerfed, and then further nerfed, and then nerfed again. And as a result of that, you just simply don't see a lot of Genji. But that said, there might be a reason for that. Currently a 23% win rate for the hero. We'll find out if Nexus Cats can make it work here in a second. Genji Malfurion, a classic combo. A very effective combo. Because of Malfurion being able to just throw a heal onto Genji, Genji goes in the back line and Malf can provide heals with the Moonfire, leaving Genji kind of free to be annoying. But that said, I like Full Meta Jacket's comp significantly more. I gotta be honest with myself there. And that's the direction I'm leaning at the moment. So with that, we're going to get into game number 2. Go ahead and introduce the teams on the left. It's going to be Arthanal on that Genji, Turd Herder up in the top on the Rexar, Mark Zombie on Arthas, Malfurion going to be played by McGiblets, and the Doctor on Sylvanas. And over on the right, Full Meta Jacket looking to take us to a game 3. It's going to rely a lot on Souza on that Vala. You got Sergeant Scoops on the Anduin. Had some great cleanse in the last game. Juggerob on that Garrosh. Barber going to be on the Zul, which was let through the draft in Runtime Logic. Going to be playing Thrall. So right out of the gate, looking at the talents. Looks like he E-build out of Genji. Dagger stacks coming up from Vala. Those can get very powerful if you get the stack early. Misha gonna go with the extra damage. There's a flip onto McGiblets. Yeah, when Malfurion ends up in the back line of the enemy team, he's usually not going anywhere. Even if he has Twilight Dream, it's like a death rattle in Hearthstone. It's not gonna actually stop the dying. Zul rotating top. So it is gonna be Zul against this Rexar in the top lane. Meanwhile, down here in the bottom, Anduin, once again a bold strategy, Anduin the choice.
You think yourself worthy to
Should note, Zul went into Shackler for the slows. Should help Garrosh step up, maybe get a big taunt off. Echo the elements from Thrall, pretty standard. Vala already going to work onto the siege camp. Garrosh soaking against Genji in the mid lane. It's a contest to see who can soak the slowest, and frankly, I don't know which one it's going to be. Zul going to actually rotate down and help out. Now, looking for an invade onto this siege camp, maybe. They're going to now go for the Arthas, who does get rooted. Not exactly the flip combo perfectly, but nonetheless, it's more than enough. And there we talked about the Arthas. That's where he struggles into the Garrosh. It's going to be very difficult for Arthas to step up in this match at all while Garrosh is available. Basically, you have to play for the 5v5 team fight on the side of Nexus Cats, or at least something like a 3v3, 4v4. But they're going to be very vulnerable to ganks this game. Vala gets down that bot wall. The bullying in this lane begins. And I like what Full Meta Jacket has done so far. Now, obviously, Zul is going to have his hands full getting any value on the point top. But if you're on the side of Full Meta Jacket, you're maybe okay with that. You have a lot of post-10 comboing as a team. Poison Nova and Skeletal Mages, both incredible tools. Warlord's Challenge going to be a great tool as well. You know, maybe you're okay just playing this nice, steady, and slow, and just trying to make sure you don't lose soak. Malf going with the extended AoE size, and slight duration on the ground. Duration on the ground, not on the root. Trying to get some zoning. Meanwhile, though, Zul has gone down to a Genji flank up top. And that is not what the Doctor ordered for Full Meta Jacket. They can ill afford... Excuse me, my sound just went. Okay, my headset just stopped making noise. We'll do the best we can with it. In the meantime, forgive the technical issues. 3v3 here in the bot. Zul up top, pressuring out this Rexar. Genji still in the mid. Might try to rotate up for another gank after this. Zul gonna have to be careful. Zul actually rotating down at the moment. Thrall coming down bot, so definitely committing to controlling this objective. Now Fruit comes in once again, not really going to dissuade Garrosh from stepping up. Garrosh does have Unstoppable available. But all this while, Sergeant Scoops and Souza on a secret mission here in the bot lane. Ooh, that time that Root's going to catch Garrosh, and down he goes. Good kill from Nexus Cats. And that's going to turn into the Dragon being picked up quickly by the Genji. And so to that end, that's all they needed, just that little bit of time. The Bruiser camp will at least pressure up this already weakened bottom lane. But the DK currently goes up and gets the top well. And now let's see if it pressures mid. Tries to make the long rotation to bot. Currently clearing minions. And actually cut off a bit from the rest of the team. There's a kick onto Vala. Flip onto Arthas under towers. He's going to take some armor reduction. Minus 10 armor, but not able to get the finish. Kick onto Garrosh to kick him out of the way. And Full Metal Jacket has been defending this well. Nexus Cats haven't really gotten a lot off this DK, and with 8 seconds to go, they're not even going to be able to finish this bot wall while the DK is alive. Garrosh going to step up. Root there being annoying. Vala chunking out a good amount of damage. Currently 38 stacks on that dagger from Vala. So that translates into 19% bonus damage. Significant, but not huge. Certainly going to want to see those stacks accelerate as the game goes on. Level 10, picked up here by Nexus Cats. It's X-Strike, Wailing Arrow, Bestial Wrath, Twilight Dream, and Army of the Dead. On the other side, Light Bomb, it is the Poison Nova over the Skeletal Mages. Decimate the choice out of Garrosh. Rather than the Warlord's Challenge, Rain of Vengeance from Vala and Earthquake. So that Earthquake, Decimate, Poison Nova could really set up a very strong engage onto the front line and just zone out the members of Nexus Cats. But I will say Nexus Cats has played this fairly well so far. Full Metal Jacket stepping up. They're going to go ahead and get this last bottom tower. Steps up and sells out for the Arthas. Rain of Vengeance comes in. Wasn't swing and a miss. There's the Earthquake. The X-Strike on the Juggernaut gets a lot of value. Light Bomb needed, but the shield is going to keep him up for the time being. And there's the cleanse. And I got to be honest, Sergeant Scoops may have just won his team this team fight. Now Genji has nowhere to go, and he's going to go down. Sergeant Scoops making a candidate for MVP here. I mean, it's hard to top what Turd Herder did in the last game on the boss with the Buried Alive. But Sergeant Scoops is making some plays. That Light Bomb was clutch, saving the cleanse until after the Light Bomb came through to give the shield, enabling the turnaround. Well done there by the healer from Full Meta Jacket. And Unstoppable used just to walk out of that route. Siege Camp not going to get a lot of value here. It's just going to buy some time to push up, get control of bottom. Rexar, of course, still going to have a good time controlling this top objective. Zul doing some double rotation, though, keeping his team ahead in Soak by about half a level. And now, everyone, the surprise party. Oh, Malfurion, you ruined the surprise party. Everyone report Malfurion right now. Surprise party ruined. My birthday is over. This is the worst day of my life. Sorry, I'm pretending to be someone who knows what his birthday is, and I gotta be honest, I'd have to check some paperwork. Genji thinking about ganking onto the Zul. Zul thinking about pissing off to mid lane. So Zul going to win that battle of wits for the time being. Actually heading over to the Bruiser camp. Is gonna cap it, but now Genji gonna dive in here. Not gonna really be able to do much, though, against this Thrall. And that Bruiser camp will help Zul push out this top lane. Ooh, Malfurion, Death Rattle, Twilight Dream, not enough to keep him alive. And there we go. I'll be honest, I don't understand half the things I say, so it's fine. Bot camp about to be picked up here by Full Meta Jacket, and they're putting on a pretty good show this match. Genji currently having to clear up the mid. Zul taking the opportunity to pressure up a bit, now coming down to clean this mid lane. But I like what Nexus Cats is doing here. They're saying, look, they're probably on bot camp. Let's go ahead and invade. So that siege camp going to push directly onto the fort itself. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of a fort race. Certainly because of positioning, you think at the moment this should favor Full Meta Jacket. But that said, they have to disengage that with the Genji flank. 4v3, Vala clearing up this siege camp. Does get a fair amount of damage, though, onto this fort. Chunked it down about a third. But that said, level advantage still favoring Full Meta Jacket, who are winning the race to 16. They're playing this very patient. They haven't gotten a DK yet, and that's largely attributable to the Rexar in the top lane. There we go. Flip there, on to Mark Zombie. Wrath of Vengeance used. There's the big Twilight Dream. Down goes Vala. Sergeant Scoops in a world of hurt underneath the Arthas, not going to get out. And that is the wombo and the combo. And that's going to not only get Nexus Cats back in this game, that might actually change the entire landscape of this match. 3 kills, evening up the kill count, but those 3 kills are going to translate directly into this bottom fort. And with Malfurion channeling the mid objective, this could translate directly into a Dragonite getting picked up. Nobody in the middle for Full Meta Jacket to stall this, and no one's going to get there. Zul does not get the contest, and the DK comes through. Misha gets onto the point just in time to prevent the neutralization of top objective. Would have only bought time. It seemed inevitable that the DK was going to come in. Nexus Cats now looking to take the first keep of this game. This is an 11-minute DK. So not incredibly strong, but still strong. For defending, Zul maybe looking at the flank. The DK has dropped before the wall came down. So really a fantastic defense there. And now Full Meta Jacket coming in. Oh, but Vala just gets annihilated there by the X-Strike. Earthquake doesn't help at all with that. And now it just looks like Full Meta Jacket's health bars are so low, but somehow they're still staying alive. The Garrosh self-sustain finally fails. Zul just going to town with the W's, but with Anduin down, he is not long for this world. And Nexus Cats just sustaining better. Doctor is going to survive. And now this is falling apart. 5-man team wipe. Nexus Cats. What great healing there by McGiblets. Both teams showing some really good self-sustain. There we go. So now this keep is forfeit. Anduin Garrosh up in 2, but it doesn't matter. Keep will be down long before them. And they're just going to walk away, taking that advantage. So, how this game has swung really in the last 3 minutes, and it all started with that great triple kill engage. Full Meta Jacket had an opportunity, but they need to do a better job keeping this Genji off the Vala. The Vala just got annihilated by the X-Strike.
Power gathers within the shrines. Seize them and become the new dragon.
Zul now working on the Bruiser camp, gonna pick that up. Try to pressure out this Rexar in the top lane. Starting to get to the late game. It's when you might see a little bit less splitting, a little bit more stacking. I don't know if this is the fight you want in this choke point with Zul away, but it looks like Full Meta Jacket feeling desperate, wanting to take the fight before level 20, but Juggerov is just so low. X-Strike once again trucking the Vala down. The Light Bomb does something, but just not enough. Anduin has gone down, Vala's gone down, and it just seems like every time that Garrosh steps up for a fight, Genji just single focus onto the Vala, taking her down with those X strikes and hitting every single one each time. And now this will be another DK and another 5-man wipe, as Zul actually went down in the top lane as well. And this should be the series. Arthana and company ready to march this down the bot lane. We're going to have a victory lap, it seems. Barring a truly epic defense for the for full meta jacket, and then an epic comeback. This should be game. They're going to go ahead and take that mid fort down. Siege Giants and 2 Katas ready to go. But they were a little bit slow getting here, so 4 back up. Genji goes into the back line, looking for the Vala again. Light bomb used. Not Genji, excuse me, Misha was in the back line. Genji's in the dragon. Caster math there. Garrosh does go down, though, and you're just not seeing enough damage come out. The core, on the other hand, down to 15 and falling. That's going to be the game. Nexus Cat's going to win this one 2-0. Congratulations, Nexus Cats, on their domination victory as they continue to put together just a stellar season here in Division D East. It's going to give them 3 points, and I believe that puts them, based on what I saw in chat earlier, into a first-place tie with Bunker Funtime. If I'm not mistaken, XJD, of course, still to play this week. Unless they played Bunker Funtime. I don't know who Bunker Funtime played. But in either case, Nexus Cats getting a fairly quick 2-0 in that series. We're going to take a brief break. We're going to see if we can get a post-game interview. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Alright, welcome back everyone, Nexus Gaming Series. DB Smiley here, and I am joined by Arthana, the captain of Nexus Cats, and McGiblets, the healer, who I thought had some pretty good plays, especially on that Deckard in Game 1. How are you guys feeling after that 2-0 domination?
Oh man, we're feeling pretty good. We had a nice slice of humble pie last week, so it's nice to come right back into it.
Yeah, you guys came into this, you're up near the top of D East at the moment. Pulling up the standings here, excuse me. So that will give you 3 points, although based on what I saw in chat, I think Bunker Funtime also got a domination tonight, so you'd be tied with them at first place. But right now, you guys fairly safely in the playoffs, so you got to be happy with that. And you beat a team that was also fairly, not as safe, but fairly safely in the playoffs as well. What does that mean, do you think, kind of given how your season has been going? What that means for your team.
Well, we like to take everything week by week. We're not too concerned about where our opponents are versus us. We try and respect every single opponent as if the match is a playoff game itself. So we came into this. Look, guys, we came off of a bad week last week, so this week we're just gonna give it our best. The playoffs started this week. We're going to try and get the highest seed we can going into the playoffs, get that favorable seed, and just gonna
Yeah.
give some respect to all the teams we play.
Yeah, I mean, definitely on track for a top 3 seed, but certainly, when you start getting down to it, you want to be closer to 1 than to 3. Um, Coming into the match, Zeratul was banned out, certainly targeting you there. Um, but you played a couple different heroes this game that I quite liked what I saw. Genji obviously in game 2. Genji has not been picked a lot and is currently sitting below a 30% win rate in NGS. Why did Genji
Is
work?
he?
Yes, he's at 23%. So actually, I'm overselling it by saying under 30. He's under a quarter win rate. Well, probably not anymore. He's been picked so rare that now he's probably at mid 30s. But what made Genji work there in game 2?
So we really like how our 4-man runs in the bottom lane, 3-man, 4-man. And the nice thing about Genji is it's just a lot of map pressure. So they took away Zeratul. So we said, okay, we'll just continue running the map with Genji, which they, to their credit, they really gave us a hard time on Zul with the double soak going top mid.
Mm-hmm.
But it's easy to punish the back line. We identified that they were kind of aggressive on the front line end of it. So I kind of figured that with the Genji pick, we could go in on the back line and cause some havoc.
Yeah, I mean, you managed to land a lot of big X strikes onto the Vala in that series, and that basically kind of ended the fight off and as it was starting. McGidlets, I want to throw one to you here. So you went with Deckard game 1, Malfurion game 2. We've been definitely seeing a lot of Deckard lately, and I don't think we need to spend too much time guessing why. Could it be Ruby? I don't know. But Malfurion game 2, I wanted to highlight your build, and the reason I wanted to highlight your build is because your build is my build. So just riff for a bit about how awesome that build is and how genius we both are for picking it.
I usually don't pick that 13 or 4. The 4.
Wait, really? The 4. Well, okay, no, the 4.
Cool.
The 4 I could totally get. The third, you don't pick that 13?
Not usually. I go for the innervate myself because I usually have my heal on everybody
Huh.
at all times.
Huh.
Just in case like one of them gets thrown, so I can cleanse them.
But don't you love to be mounted literally all the time?
I only took it because Garrosh kept on catching me.
Yeah, well,
I was like, no,
that's a
I was
good
screaming,
reason to
no,
pick
no,
it.
No.
Yeah.
Like right as he dove our tower
Yeah.
and threw me and killed me. So I'm like, nope, not anymore.
Yeah, I will say I also tend to flex the 10 based on what the moment demands. But I mean, you had a really good match. And obviously some pretty big sleeps in game 1 as well as some pretty clutch healing there on the bottom lane at the end, kind of in that last little brawl that turned into a 5-man wipe that ended the game. So really good sustain there. Anything to add to that, or?
I was really regretting misclicking that 4.
Yeah.
Zul was murdering everybody and wouldn't die, and I'm like, this is all my fault.
Yeah. Well, with that, we're going to bring this cast to a close. Was happy to be able to kind of snap pick you guys up since my first match finished quickly. So the floor is yours for shoutouts.
Yeah, I'd like to shout out our coach, August. He does an excellent job teaching us, making us better. And that kind of goes into my second shout out. Shout out to Turd Herder for picking up on coach's teachings real quick on the Leoric and really just making clutch damage reduction plays in game 1. That was incredible.
Not to mention the Entomb at the end of the game, which
And
was yeah.
On the boss, that was the teaching of Senpai and the learning of Turd Herder, so fantastic. Shout out to those two.
Anyone for you, McGiblets?
I'd like to shout out the whole team. I joined them like 2 months ago, and it feels like I've been with them for a long time. Everything just clicks very well. Amazing guys.
Oh, we love you, Gibbs.
All right.
And of course, a shout out to Bobo's Beatbox. Those guys are amazing, and they helped me with a lot of my healing kits whenever I was learning how to heal.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the role. I quite fancy myself a healer as well. But with that, thank you both. Congratulations on the win. Go celebrate with your team.
Thank you very much for casting us.
Happy to. All right, and with that, we're going to draw our cast to a close tonight. Thank you all for watching. Working on bringing the beard back. It's coming back, I swear. The COVID-19 cases are spiking in Charlottesville, so I want to make sure the mask is getting the best grip possible. But with that, thank you all, everyone, for watching. And we're going to see who is there to kick it to. We got a lot of viewers. Let's keep this NGS trade